So when it comes to productivity, Canada is literally at the bottom. We have been talking about on this channel quite lately. And if you look at the GDP per capita, that tells you exactly we are at the bottom compared to the G7 countries. But if you look at this chart, it tells you that how the investment between the residential real estate market and the business investment is kind of diverging quite a bit. So since 2001, we are seeing there is a gradual decrease of investment in the business segment, i.e. machinery and products and IP and basically producing goods. But at the same time, we are seeing an uptick in terms of the residential investment. And from economics terms, if you invest into residential real estate market, that is considered a non-productive asset. Why? Because that investment is not going to benefit the economy as a whole, right? If you take loans and you buy a machinery, a plant, and you start a business, that is going to generate new jobs in the economy, and it's going to benefit the society and economy as a whole. But if you take a loan and buy a house, a real estate property, that doesn't really generate new opportunities, new jobs. Yes, to some extent, it can benefit the contractors, the accountants, the lawyers, but it doesn't produce new jobs per se, right? It doesn't produce new opportunities for growth in the economy. So that's exactly what's happening in Canada. So from 2000 onwards, we're seeing the divergence between the business investment and the residential investment has been growing for all the wrong reasons, okay? And both sides have its own deficiencies. So we're seeing the decline in the business investment, and at the same time, we are seeing the increase of credit creation towards the residential real estate market. Both are bad things for Canadian economy. And this has been going on for the last 2 decades. And that is the reason why we are being so unproductive. So when you look at the GDP per capita, we are literally at the bottom against G7 countries. And even if we compare ourselves with the US and Australia, we can see that our performance when it comes to business investment is literally in the gutters, right? Australia, we always compare ourselves with Australians. They are not that bad. They are much better when it comes to investing into business segments. But we Canadians have gone all the way in the residential real estate market in terms of the percentage of GDP. So our GDP is more heavily reliant on the housing sector compared to US and compared to Australia. Okay, so that is not good. That is not good. And this is the reason why we are struggling when it comes to productivity. So if you look at this chart as well, that tells you that the amount of jobs being created lately since 2020 onwards, it's just in the public sector, government. And government and public sector don't really produce stuff in the economy. So when it comes to measuring productivity, we have to measure what are we producing, okay? What products are we producing in the economy? That creates the productivity. That makes us more productive. If we are producing stuff, products, solutions that is going to solve business problems and make us more productive, that's what drives the wealth. That's what drives the economy forward, not the government sector. The government sector is actually a drain on the economy because they consume more resources compared to produce any more goods. So when you look at this chart, you can see there's a big delta between the amount of jobs that we are creating in the public sector versus the private sector. And both private sector and the self-employed sector pretty much stagnant, if not growing. Like, look at the self-employment sector, that is stagnant. And private sector was growing, but then it's kind of plateau and it's not growing anymore. But look at the public sector, that has been growing like crazy, which is for all the wrong reasons. Okay, so if the federal government and provincial government are spending money like crazy, which means they're hiring more people in their government, which is not going to produce any stuff, it's not a good sign for our economy. It will make it look GDP good because GDP is all about spending, but when it comes to productivity, which is GDP per capita or real GDP, it will always look negative if you're not creating jobs in the private sector. And the private sector is the one that are entrepreneurs, that are producing stuff, that are building plans and businesses and producing solutions to make us more productive. And these solutions actually drive the productivity and create wealth in the economy. Sorry for the interruption, guys. We have a team of certified chartered accountants who can help you with regards to tax filing, whether this business or personal or commercial. So if you have any need with regards to tax consultancy, any professional advice that you need from a taxing perspective, let me know. There is a link down there where you can contact them and give my reference Yasin Nizami, and they can give you the discount as well as the best professional tax advice as well. So let's get back to the video. So today, federal government announced new budget for 2024-2025, and there is literally nothing to create more jobs in the private sector. All they talk about is giving more tax credits to the families. They increased the capital gain tax inclusion rate, but again, this would actually push the capital out of the country. If I'm the businessman and I have capital to deploy to make more profit, I will not invest in Canada because I know the government is taking a lot of taxes from my productive gains. Okay, so if the government is taxing businesses and high net worth individual, and then those high net individuals and the businesses will look elsewhere to deploy their capital and make more profit because the government is taking a lot of taxes. That is not how you grow the productivity. That is not how you grow the business. That is not how you grow the economy. You have to give tax incentives to the businesses and entrepreneurs to invest in the country. They can produce more jobs and grow the business at the same time, because the capitalist needs return. If you tax them to the death, they will not invest in the country anymore. Food for thought. Let me know what you think about that. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe. And if you want to support this channel, there is a link down there to support me so that I can continue making these videos for you. Thank you.